That was the weird way to say hello. Hello, everyone. This is the 40th episode of the GRcade Twitchcast. I'm Pedz, and I am here today with Victor Mildew. So basically, we're just going to be chatting shit. to put it bluntly, we're just going to be chatting shit. There's like obviously the state of play later this evening and things like that, so we're going to wait till next week to talk about that kind of thing, obviously. But me and Vicky are going to just have a little chat, see how things go, because why not? Vicky, that's what I said the other day when Jenuall was streaming. I said, when's the Jenny and Vicky show? And nothing came of it. It would be fun to see the Jenny and Vicky show. Well, considering we just mentioned Jenuall, we may as well chat a little bit about the extraordinary Are You a Master Mario Maker 2021 edition, because there's obviously been a couple in the past. There's been 3 by Cheeky Devlin, I think it's 3. Is it 3 or 4? Either way, I'm a little disappointed because I was knocked out first. I was out first. Like a... Yeah. I can't remember myself. Would you like to go Big Brother with me? Yeah, I'll be honest, I played a fair bit of Super Mario Maker, but making levels and things, and the most I played, it was taking part in the first competition, because I was in the first one with Devlin and the first one with Jenuall. I haven't done all of them. But the amount of levels you play and the quality is at a higher bar than just doing random levels. And I'm not saying people are crap, but when you have, I think, a set of parameters that you work into, like a very, not a very specific guide, but like a basic instruction of, you know, this is the kind of thing you're doing for this week. It kind of means that everyone is working towards a specific goal, and I feel that if someone is just making a level, they kind of not plan, like a lot of people not plan things out. They'll just, you know, wing it, so to speak. And I think if you actually have a goal set in mind of what your level needs to be, even if you aren't able to do it, you'll try and get as close as, and I think that will make creating a level easier. So the people who are then coming along to play it, while it might be a difficult level to play through, it tends to be good, even if it isn't like easy to play. If that makes sense.
Enjoy like time trialing, because you've got this set parameter. It's like if I was just to go on my own, I was trying to, well, basically I likened it to when Drive Club has me bringing that up again, but the leaderboards are all dead now, so it's only me against me, and really you get to a point where you just think, oh, that's kind of good enough and I can't do any better. Whereas when you've got a target somebody else has set, and you think, oh shit, you can actually go 6 seconds quicker on this. Well, how can you do that? And, you know, with a bit of effort before you know you've done it. And it's kind of like that with this level. It's like you say, if I was to sit and make a level, I'd probably just do a free form, just kind of planning it as I go and think, oh, that's all right. I'm quite proud of that. But as soon as somebody puts a restriction in of saying you can only stay on the same screen, and the screen can't even move. Like, oh Christ, really?
Yeah.
And then suddenly, but at the end of it, you've come up like I never would have come up with anything remotely as good as what I came up with for that one if I just done it off my own back with no rules to stick to. It's been great.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I was disappointed with the last week where I went out when I was in there, and I'd had people mark me down because I messed up on the rules, basically. And I understand that, but I think it's harsh in a way. And I'll explain why I think it's a bit harsh. Because if you don't follow the rule parameters, you get your points halved. So if people are there marking you down because you didn't follow the rule parameters, the points they are marking you down is also being halved. So say they put you at 4th.
I didn't know it was half points. I thought it was like a flat no score on that. Maybe I must have read the rules wrong.
If you forget to vote, you lose. I think you lose all you get 0 points. So basically, I think I had 18 points for that week. But really, because I was last anyway, Jenuall said he didn't see the point in half in it. But realistically, I would have had 9.
Yeah, it's it's definitely harsh in that thing. Is like so I see if you basically, not saying don't put the effort in, but if you don't make an effort to submit anything, you don't deserve, you get a flat 0. But if you've made an effort but broken the rules, then you get your points for effort, but then you get deducted for breaking the rules, like a time penalty almost.
No, I completely agree with that. I just think it's a bit disappointing when other people are like, oh, I really liked your level, but because you put a flag in you, I'm gonna rank you lower. And then, I didn't understand why people do because you didn't follow the rules properly. And I did it because I didn't realize I just read the rules of Monster. I didn't read the entire thing. Yeah. All right, you're supposed to kill someone to get to the end. Well, you have to kill Bowser to get the key to get through the door to the flag. I didn't realize it had to be a specific goal. Reach the end after you've killed Bowser. I didn't read it all. That's my fault. And I just think it's harsh when someone's like, all right, I'll put you, let's say there's 8 people, I'll put you 7th, so you'll get 2 points, and then that 2 points gets half to 1, because the Jenuall then is half in here again. So it's like you're being punished twice. Yeah. No, just the once.
It's I found as well is that because I don't know the set of rules very well, I had no idea that setting a win condition would be nullified by putting a flag in. So because I've set the basic framework of a level out, then I play test it a bit, and then I decorate it a bit, and then I play test it again, and then I really dress it, and then I put things in. Okay, it could do with a checkpoint here, I reckon, and stuff. So I made all of that beanstalk level, and then I thought, right, it needs a checkpoint here because this bit's quite tough. And as soon as I placed it, and it said it's going to cancel your things, like, oh shit, because it's like, what do I do? Do I put it in? Because I thought you get no points. If I could have put, if I'd twigged that it was half points, I might have gone, bugger, I'd rather have people finish it and be able to actually get through it and take the hit on the half points. than potentially
I specifically put checkpoints in mine because I thought at the end of the day, the level is going to be, like, especially towards the end, it's going to be quite long with the 2 Bowser fights. And I thought, if someone dies and let's go back to the beginning of the level, they're going to fucking hate it. And, like, I played through, like, the levels. I enjoyed them, but it was so frustrating to get to the end of the level and die and then have to do it all over again. Some of them took, like, 5 minutes at a time. And then you die in, like, 5 or 6 times. It's, like, 30 minutes on one level, and it's just, like, it becomes frustrating then.
Yeah, that is annoying. I tell you what, funnily enough, though, your level, it was one of the few I managed to get through without dying at all. And that's ironically.
Typical.
Yeah. The same because you've done some good stuff. It's like I can't. It's one of the earlier ones. It was like a new Super Mario Brothers or maybe 3D World theme. It's like set in like a Bowser themed lava level, and you had to climb. I think it was a vertical challenge one actually.
Yeah.
And I think I rated your one second out of all my votes because I played through it.
And I still came in 7th. Overall, I was in the competition for 5 weeks. 4 out of those 5 weeks I was 7th, and the last week I was 8th because I messed up the rules.
I was playing it. It was like I played all of them through once, and then I try and go through them a bit quick. And I was playing your one, and I suddenly realised, whether intentionally or not, there's a really nice like full pelt route you could do, where you could just dodge the little things, and if you just did a little spin over someone rather than the jump, you could just get sort of thread the needle on things.
Nice.
And I think I played it like, I don't know, 15 times to completion in a row. I was really enjoying it. I thought, do you know what? I've sat and played this so much, and it's like that's getting a really good rating. Because it's like you were saying, I enjoyed the level, regardless of sort of how packed or well designed or something. Someone could have a really good looking level that you say, you could then spend half an hour trying to beat and getting really pissed off with it. It's like, well, yeah, they've clearly spent ages on it and it looks great, but it's shit to play.
Yeah.
Because yours has such a nice flow to it. Yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
I'm glad. I was thinking of I think my biggest problem is I left every time I left till the Sunday to do it. The Sunday is supposed to be submitted, because I thought, right, I'll have to force myself to just crack on, because my thoughts were, if I start early, I might do too much tweaking and then make it worse, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like your own worst critic and kind of thing. But I think at the same time, I think that was too late, because some of the ideas, like the one level, the new Super Mario Brothers one, the one where you had to break the walls with bullet bills to get through. Well, I wanted to do like certain things a bit differently, but because I didn't have enough time in the end, I couldn't do what I planned. So like I feel like I didn't fulfill what I wanted to do with certain levels, because I just didn't give myself long enough to do it. Like I didn't want the wall as thick. I wanted it to be slightly different. I wanted the route to be a little different at the end, and I also wanted it so that if you did it in a certain way, you'd be able to get to another clear pipe, which will take you straight to the end. I put that there, but no one ever got to the clear pipe in time before the bricks were broken by a bullet bill. So basically,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it was kind of up. You sort of went left at the top, and it was up there, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I was a bit gutted with that. I think if I was to look at that level, I'd have to rework a few things to get how I wanted. But consistently, to be fair, I think consistently, I don't know if I haven't done it every week. But for, like, obviously, I'm not asking you to say who you voted for because you're still in the competition. But for me, Carl, I think has been the most consistent for me as the top player in the competition, because I've just found his levels not just fun to play, but quite creative as well. And I think my main, as I said in the stream Sunday to the Jenuall, the only thing I rate it on is how much I enjoy the level. If I don't enjoy the level as much as someone else, it's going to be rated lower. Simple as.
Well, I see. It's like I think my criteria has definitely changed since the start. I think the very first one, like I said, is my first experience of the competition, and that it was just kind of like a standard level but themed differently. I think I was probably more rating it on how well the levels have been replicated, rather than just sort of did I enjoy the changes made to it or anything. So I've definitely changed them. Like there's been other ones where sort of some of the later ones where you'd look at it and just think, oh, there's not much has actually been done on this, but I've had more fun playing it than one of the ones that looks like it could have come straight out of one of the other games, just because it's how long it took to do it, or how much repetition there was, how much of a flow there was.
I think that's the thing. Like, obviously everyone has their own criteria, but for me it was as simple as just how fun it was. The simple reason is, if you look at like lots of how close it follows the rules, how it twists the rules to, like, there's such a big amount of a big list of things you could rate it on, and I'm not going to sit down and like write down these like a list of 10 freaking score parameters and then mark them out of 10 and then give a final total. I'll just go, right, it's easy enough. I enjoyed this one more, enjoyed this one a little less. This one gets top marks. It's just I think it was just easier to do that than look at everything else, because the issue for me is, for me personally, I enjoyed everyone's levels. I didn't think there were any bad levels. I just think some were just better than others at times. And every week when I messaged Jenuall to put my vote in, I said another week, and I'm finding it really tough to rate them. Yeah. So every week You know, it's just there's some really good stuff there, and like even the ones that you know, like OR for example, like his levels are good, and there's a lot of theming to his levels that I've noticed. But then other people don't do a lot of theming to the levels, and they're still really, really good. It's just people are very consistent at doing good stuff, and I think it's very disappointing. Like for those who aren't aware, the competition has been going for 5 weeks. 5 weeks. It's been longer than that. It's 5 rounds. I think it's fortnightly. I went out on the 5th round, and last week there was another elimination on Sunday just gone. And unfortunately, the person who is going is the person who's at the bottom of the leaderboard. Unfortunately, Dark Ruler and Kix were both at the exact same amount of points and were both removed. Jenuall himself was saying like he wasn't sure what to do there, but he went with that because that was the rules. The bottom scores go. And I said like it's harsh, but them's the rules. So, you know, I think he made the right decision, even though it was very harsh. Like, but, it's disappointing to see 2 people go at once because there's some being really good levels by everyone, and I think Rubik's, who's also taking part, said he's going to continue to make levels anyway, following the parameters, so people can still play them. They just won't get marked.
Yeah, that'd be nice. It's, I was really surprised by the quality. As I say, I hadn't taken any notice of this competition before, and I really thought, because you know, if you actually looked at my uploaded level, I think I did like 2 or 3 levels in the whole time I've had that game before this competition, and they really were just kind of thought out as and when I just sort of start a level and start making a path and go, let's put a platform there and stuff. And I really did think that was going to be kind of the gist of it from everyone else. And I thought it was probably going to be a lot of pretty poor, you know, just not really, you know, just thought up as you go like I was doing. So to then, as soon as I sort of the first set of levels, I thought, oh god, these are all good. I was expecting some real low effort crap. It's like, oh, I better sort of step this up, and then but every week has been, you know, nobody seems to have got fatigued and just blatantly put out something that they've done in 10 minutes. And they're all, no matter sort of the level of theming or whatever with them, they're all thought out and well made, and there's love gone into all of them.
Exactly, yeah. The thing is, though, is with these rules, even though there's a set parameter, people have come up with some really varying ways of doing it. Like, for example, the first week, we were just redoing already made one levels. Like, well, World 1 level, so 1 to 1.4 on Super Mario Brothers, 1 to all of World 1 of Super Mario Brothers 3, all of World 1 and Super Mario World. I think it was those anyway. I think one, I can't remember who made the level. I think one that I really liked was you started the level, and instead of running along, you stayed pretty much still, and the blocks was coming along as if like the level was scrolling past, you had to dodge them and so that, like. And then someone else made one which looked like World 1-2, but it was all broken up as if like there was an earthquake or something. Like, people have really interpreted the ideas differently, but they still stick to the parameters that have been given by Jenuall, and it's really cool to see how different people's minds are working with this game. It's just really creative and really fun. Gutted I lost, got kicked out so early, but I'm still playing and voting.
Yeah, please do. Because there's not many of us, and I say that because the consistency of effort has been the same all the way through. It forces me when I sit there and I think, like the one with the tracks one, I made 2 complete levels and then threw them out because they weren't good enough. Whereas if it'd been kind of just chuck it on and see what happens, I probably would have submitted it, right? I mean, I don't think I scored that highly on it, but I put more effort into my other one. I thought, this isn't good enough, I need to try harder. It's like that track one with the level being built. That was like the one I did for that was just one of the first Yoshi Island ones, and I just raised the water level and made it so it looked like it flooded a bit. I thought, that's that's a really good idea. And then I saw the level being built. Oh, that was the one screen. That was the one screen one, wasn't it? The level being built. It's like, oh shit, yeah. There's so much you can do with this.
Yeah. No, there's some really interesting things in general, man. Like, again, the last one I was in, the one where you had to get through a level and kill a certain thing or collect coins. Some people went with coins. Like, I did a whole, get to the end and kill Bowser. I think Rubik's did a similar kind of thing. And you had, I think it was Owar who did like a fishing thing.
Yeah, really clever.
It's some really interesting stuff going on, and like I said, I'm glad I'm still playing the levels because they've all been really enjoyable. The thing is the most, like I said, the most I've got out of the game is from this competition. I literally played the story mode to do a review on. Did a review on the story stuff. Didn't play online much. I made one level, and that was it. And the level was tiny. It was literally a path with a gap, another bit of platform, then a slide, and then a massive jump. And there's a hidden leaf you need to find so you can fly across the gap, and that's it. That's all I did. It's just, but yeah, I don't know. It's just
I got
stuff.
it. Played the story mode, loved it. I thought, oh, this is brilliant. And I thought, right, I'm gonna, here we go. I'm gonna do my own levels, and I started making it blank canvas with no idea what to make. Made a pretty mediocre couple of levels that like 10 people played.
Yeah.
And then I just dropped it because I thought, well, what's the point in sitting and spending weeks making stuff if nobody plays it? Which is the same problem I had with Little Big Planet. And that was, I don't know if you played that or tried making your own levels with that or anything. Good
I did.
God, that took forever to make anything on that, and no one would play it. And this isn't so bad. I mean, you could go on and make a playable level in Mario Maker in like 10 minutes. That could be pretty entertaining. But then, you go back after a week and say, I wonder how many people have played it. And 3 people have played it. Really puts you off. So playing this not only forced me to actually play it and realise what a great game it is, but also it's nice to actually know that this set of people are going to sit and give my levels a fair crack and hopefully enjoy them.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think, I don't know if Super Mario Maker 2 is played as much as 1 was, because I know a lot of people are not a fan of like certain aspects, but prefer others. So I'm not sure. Like a lot of people prefer like 100-man Mario, where you have 100 lives and you've got to get to the end of a world and stuff like that. So I don't know if that has an effect on like the amount of people who played. Speaking of Little Big Planet, it'd be funny, not funny, haha, but it would have been funny if instead of like, are you a Master Mario Maker, are you a Little Big Planeter was a thing. I wonder how that would work, because obviously the restrictions are going to be quite different there, because you can do you can do quite a bit with the Little Big Planet makey stuff, especially the third game. I believe you can make like different types of games, pretty much.
Oh yeah, God, yeah. You could make. I made some shooting like Space Invader type game, but typical for that thing. Unless you really know what you're doing, it just breaks. But yeah, it's amazing what people manage to do with it. It's just, I found it incredibly time-consuming to do anything with it. That was the sort of thing you really needed to have an idea of what you wanted to do, because you could almost trap yourself, because you had 3 layers to build on. And if you think, right, okay, I'm going to do this now, and before you know it, you think, oh God, but I've built on that plane here, and I need to delete all of that now, and everything's hanging off that, and really difficult.
Yeah, I agree. That's what the next competition should be. Not, are you a Master Mario Maker? Are you a Master Dreamer? And then everyone can play Dreams and make anything.
I forgot that was even out. Have you got it?
Yeah, I did. When it was in early access, it was like 20 something quid.
Was it?
Yeah, I don't know about now. It might be more expensive now it's fully released, but I think it's VR as well.
Yeah, I forgot it even existed. Poor bastards who made it. I mean, it seems like we need a PS5 version, and it needs to be on Plus or something. I need something to get it because I'm sure I'd love it, but I'm not buying it because I've got no interest in making anything. It'll be like Mario Maker times 1,000, where it'll just be oh, this is cool, and then I'll just never play.
I was watching someone stream before. Inelius is the streamer's name. And he was playing Dreams, and there was a virtual like showcase, and you could go to booths of different games and test out the games. Is it like if you went to like a massive showcase, like a Comic-Con kind of thing, then like a games expo it was, but it was all virtual. It was all in the game. So he was going around like checking out all these different games, looking at the trailers if they had them and stuff. And it was really, really cool. Some of the stuff people have done is really cool. And he was then showing the like trailer that was made by him, and that was really cool as well. It was just like I was like, wow, the stuff you can do with this game, man. I really wish I'd played him more than just installing it.
That's it. It's, from what I've seen, it just looks. I mean, some of the things people have done with them are just like, fuck off. You know, it's like there's no way that that's been done within another game. You know, or within a game engine. It's like, and I just know I won't get. I know I won't sit there and put the effort in, so I'll be reliant on other people doing it. I know it's one of those things I'll probably play 2 or 3 times and then never touch it again, which is a real shame. But it feels like it's on the wrong platform. It feels like it should be, I don't know, it feels like something sort of thing that should be sort of PC based, or where everyone should have it somehow.
I wonder if it's on PlayStation now, because technically speaking, people on PC could use it if it's on PlayStation now by streaming it. It's a good thing about PC.
Interesting.
Play PlayStation games on PlayStation now. On your PC. Don't need a PlayStation. Don't need an Xbox. You just need a PC. And a Switch.
Yeah.
Unless of course you know, do the naughty thing. Get an emulator. As we've started speaking about PlayStation, but before we do that, tune in on Sunday, guys, to check out the new levels that are coming for Master Mario Maker round 6, I believe. Round 6 or round 7?
7, I think.
It's round 7. Yeah, I went out on 5 and 6, 7. Yeah, round 7 on Sunday. I'll try and get this up before Sunday so you know. 9 PM. Sunday. Come in.
Shout out to Jenuall as being an excellent host on that.
Yeah, Jenuall's been great. I miss Devlin doing it as well, though, to be honest. Not because Jenuall isn't enjoyable or anything, but Devlin used to get so fucking angry.
Oh, yeah, I missed out on. I haven't seen any of this stuff.
Like the fucking rage, man. I think it's on the GRcade YouTube channel if you want to check out the streams he did.
Yeah,
fucking hilarious.
Going back and watching him playing some of the levels and stuff, it's Jenuall's got a lot more patience than I have, because if you were watching me, I mean, I'd just be like, I know I'd probably die maybe 5 times and just be like, right, fuck this, I'm out, no, I'm not doing this anymore, or who put that there, or come on. He's just far too calm. Yeah,
it's not right. Something wrong, innit? It's just not normal. Oops, I hit my mic. As we were speaking about the PlayStation just then, are you interested in tomorrow's new release of Returnal?
Kind of. I'm trying to work out what type of game it is, because I can't sort of decide. I look at it and think, oh, it looks kind of like almost like an adventure, and then you watch another clip and like, oh, it looks almost like Super Stardust, but like a third person shooter or something, and then it looks a bit like Hades but in 3D, and I can't work out what type of game it is. I'm certainly not paying £70 for it.
That's fair enough. I believe a lot of things that I've viewed, it reminds a lot of people of like Metroid Prime and Control, But to me, it looks like a kind of like a bullet hell shooter with an adventure to it as well. To me, I think it looks really interesting. The worst aspect sounding to me is the roguelike aspect. But it could be interesting that like some games sometimes break the mold and you can enjoy them. And
Type of game.
it looks fun. Roguelike. It's roguelite, I think. One of the two. Anyway, I personally think it looks really cool.
Well, I just reading a review of it earlier. It's just I was just thinking, well, what type of game is this? Like the review is almost saying the same, and then it's showing screenshots of like doors where you make choices, like in Hades, where you can say, "Come through this way and you're going to get money," or "Come through this way and you're going to get a power up," or "Come this way and you probably, this way is much harder, but if you get through this room, you're going to get 4 keys, which you would normally get on 4 playthroughs and stuff." So it's either. I'm burnt. I'm still sort of burnt from Evolve. I don't know if you ever played Evolve, but that looked like it was going to be. It doesn't look like this type of game, but it's got that kind of feel to me of like, oh, this looks like it's going to be the sort of big thing that everybody's playing it, and then you get it, and then within a couple of plays decide it's not really for you. So I don't know if there's going to be a demo of it or something, because I certainly wouldn't pay I'm reluctant to pay £70 for a PlayStation game anyway. Yeah. But I wouldn't want to sort of almost take a punt for that kind of money. I'd like to play a demo first. I mean, fair play. If I play it and think, oh Christ, I love this, then yeah, I probably would quite happily go and get it at full price. But I think I need to play it myself, because I might just be shit at it.
I
really like, but I'd be just crap. So you don't know, do you?
No, that's the problem. Like for me, I've pre-ordered it. The reason why is because I want a new game for my PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's annoying, isn't it? I'm saying it's basically like a PS4 Super Plus, isn't it, at the moment? I mean,
yeah.
I'm trying to think what's the last PlayStation 5 game I played. It's probably Demon's Souls.
I've got Demon's Souls, but I haven't played it. I'm trying to think of like the games I've got. Not Little Big Planet, Sackboy's Adventure, Sackboy: A Big Adventure, which is cross-platform. I've played some Spider-Man Miles Morales, which I finished today actually, and that is cross-platform. Bloodborne I've played on my PlayStation 5, which is a PS4 game. Overcooked I've played on the PlayStation 5, but I think it's on the PlayStation 4 as well. Because I love Overcooked, I bought the remastered edition on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I remember you saying you really like that one. It's I played Days Gone because it was on the PlayStation Plus thing. I hadn't played it before and I'd always fancied it, and I really enjoyed that, but it's a PlayStation 4 game. Funny enough, my wife downstairs playing Miles Morales at the moment. She loves the other Spider-Man. She finished it pretty quickly though, and she normally takes an eternity to play stuff, so that tells me it's not that long of a game.
It's not massively long. There's quite a bit of side stuff. It just depends on how much of it you do. But it's a very good game. It's not as good as Spider-Man, but it's
she's
good.
Saying that. She's in New Game Plus now. She said she likes to get everything. She'll leave stuff if it's too hard, but she likes to get all the collectibles and stuff she can. She's saying when she's playing it first way through, she's like, I think I'm near the end of this, and I've only been playing this a few nights and taking it slow. And she's like, yeah, look at this, and show me the collectibles. And there's ones that it says something like, play New Game Plus to unlock it. So she's going through that, but it seems like a bit of a way to artificially extend it. But it looks pretty. But like you say, it's a cross-generation game, isn't it? It just tells me, unless stuff like this Returnal, I mean that's a PS5 only, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and until stuff like this and what's it called, Ratchet and Clank and that come out, we didn't need these consoles yet.
No, it doesn't really seem like it does it, to be honest. Ratchet and Clank, speaking of, I think is having a showcase tonight on the State of Play, which obviously we'll talk about next week if people are available. But the thing with Returnal is when it first was shown, I was like, oh, okay then. Why is Sigourney Weaver in this game? Because for some reason I just imagined the woman being Sigourney Weaver.
I remember seeing that trailer as well, because it didn't really tell you what type of game it was. I remember saying at the time when I was watching the trailer live, I said, this is the game that you only buy because you've got nothing else to play on your PlayStation.
Yeah, that's exactly why I bought it.
It had that trailer. I don't know why. I mean, it looked great, didn't it? Whatever, it was just a woman walking around and stuff. It didn't really tell you what type of game it was. But it's like, that is exactly what this game is. There's always one that you wouldn't normally buy, but because you've got nothing to play, you buy it.
The good thing is the team behind it do have a good pedigree in making shooters, in the sense of like Resogun and Super Stardust. They made them. Cool. So it is a Housemarque, I think it's called, or Housemarque.
Yeah.
So they have done good stuff, but my issue is it's expensive, and like I don't want to really be buying games that are often that much, especially when I got an Xbox with Game Pass.
Yeah, it's but yeah, you're a multi-console person. I've got PC, Switch, PlayStations, handhelds, VR, got spread across all my stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
And I just like Ratchet and Clank. I love Ratchet and Clank games. I was replaying the PS4 one on the PlayStation 5 because I had it back on the PlayStation 4 when it first came out, and I finished it. I thought, I really fancy playing that. And as soon as I started playing, I thought I remembered how much I love those games because it's been so long since I played one. And then I was like, and then I watched a trailer for the new one. Like, oh Christ, this looks amazing. And you see the price of it, and you think, well, they're not long games. I mean, length doesn't necessarily correlate to price you pay and everything.
No, exactly.
It's a lot of money. You know, like I paid £70 for Ring Fit Adventure on the Switch, but that came with a peripheral and stuff. You know,
it came with plastic tact.
that thing does stuff. You know, it came
exactly.
With something. That sort of gives it more of a you know, I was happier in inverted commas playing that, but oh Christ, yeah, I'd hate to drop that kind of money on something.
Yeah, that's the thing. Remorse. It's like I've pre-ordered another game for the PlayStation 5. It's a cross-gen game of PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. I didn't realize that until I was. And I really, really like the look of the game. It's Kenna. Something Spirits. You know what I mean? It was the really Disney-looking game.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I pre-ordered that. I decided, fuck it, I'm going to pre-order the Digital Deluxe Edition. $39.99.
That's all right, isn't it?
Why did Miles Morales, which was on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, cost me £70?
Oh, I'll tell you what, on that subject, I can't remember off the top of my head. I bought it off somebody on the forum. I forget, sorry if this person's listening, I've forgotten who it was. They got it, played it within about 3 days and just sold it for it'd only been out a week. And they're selling it for £35 delivered. I thought, yep, I love that, thank you. And I'd forgotten I gave that as a Christmas present. And I gave that as a Christmas present. It was in immaculate condition and stuff. And then she, like, my wife, I did tell her, she finished it and she said, like, how much was that game? I said, well, yeah, I only paid 35 for it. She's like, oh, good. I said, yeah, but the actual price of it is like £70 or something. She's like, gee, she goes, well, how much did you pay for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is another one I got on the PS5 one? I said, oh, that was 60. So that was enough. I think 65 it was. She said, yeah, I got 180 hours out of that. And again, it's not necessarily, you know, the price. You can pay £50 for something and it can last an hour. Like Abzu, I think that's how you pronounce it. Abzu, I played that thanks to Plus. I mean, I don't know how much that would have been, maybe £20 if you actually bought it. Only lasted like 3 hours. Brilliant. I loved that game. What a great experience it was. So to me to say, oh, you know, £20 for 3 hours of game, but the same thing, you know, she loved Assassin's Creed, so paying that much, you equate it to going down the pub. If you can remember what that was like, you'd spend like 50. You could spend
Last time I went down to the pub, honestly, would be about 9 years ago.
Blimey.
Yeah, I went to the pub to watch Wales versus England with my friends.
Back.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. It was me, one of my English friends and a few of my other friends from around here. And I can't remember who won. I think it was England, to be honest. So, there you go. Whatever.
Yeah, we say you'd easily blow 50 quid just having a few drinks and.
Yeah, especially if you're buying in rounds.
Yeah,
hey,
exactly.
let's get a round in. How many of us? 10, right? That's especially in certain areas. Like around here, I think it's like 3 quid for a pint. Or at least it was when I last looked. You go to somewhere like London, it's like, oh, what's that? They have 150 quid, please.
Oh, God. Yeah, there's always somebody in the group that's got to insist on like, oh, I only have cocktails. Oh, really? What do you want then? Because we're all having like Guinness. What do you want? I'll have the cocktail. And you get up there and the 3 Guinness come to like, say it's 15 quid for 3 of them, just for example. And then the cocktail, which takes 10 minutes to make, that's £18 for the cocktail, please. Great, thanks for that. But yeah, so we're equating the cost of that. So that she said, yeah, it costs a lot, but I got X amount of time out of it. Whereas the Spider-Man one, she's playing New Game Plus. I think more out of just because the side stuff is locked behind playing through it again.
Yeah, there is
desire to play it again.
There is one unlock you do after you finish the game. I'm not going to say anything about it because I haven't done it myself. Finished the game here, and I was like, right, I got to end my stream because the kids are literally coming home from school. Like, one of them already come through the door. Like, right, I'm gonna have to end. But like, there's like a side mission at the end which unlocks something, which obviously you don't have to do a New Game Plus. You just do it at the end of after the credits have rolled. Like, so that's cool. But no, I can get what you're saying. Like 70 quid, and the game isn't very long. I think it's about 8 hours, something like that, 10 hours. It's not massively long, and unless you shit like. But
I suppose if 2 of you are going to play it, I mean, there's very few games. Like, I'm not interested in that Assassin's Creed. I liked the Egypt one because I was really into the setting and I really enjoyed that game. But that was enough of that type of game for a lot. I could happily wait another 5 years to play one of them. So I'm not interested in it. But I'm going to play Spider-Man. So you think 2 of you are playing it, you do get a good bit of money's worth out of it.
Yeah, I think the issue is it's not. It's like a massive hike. Like the games have gone up like 20 quid, and it just seems boggling to me. Like at the end of the day, yeah, development costs are going up, but the companies are making loads, and they're not paying the staff any extra from the money they make, and so the cost is just going into the investors' pockets, and that's it. It's shocking, and I think it's not going to go cheaper. I don't think. I hope it does. I hope it drops back down to the RRP of 50. So the thing is the RRP was 50, but most of the time games were 40 quid.
Yeah,
that's right. About Kenna. It's 40 quid. And it's Kenna Bridge of Spirits. It's 40 quid for the deluxe edition. And you get on both PS4 and PS5. 40 quid.
Good. Yeah, that's it. It's I think if this Returnal was 40 quid, I'd be far more likely to get caught up in the hype and buy into it or something. But yeah, I think last generation, the most expensive game I bought was Red Dead Redemption 2. I think that was 50 at launch, and even then I was just like, oh god, 50 quid. I don't normally I'd normally wait a couple of weeks and let something drop to about 35 or something, or trade something in against it. And it's very rare that I was paying anywhere near the full price for things. So paying that, bloody hell! But I've got to get it. Well, apart from Nintendo stuff, could be because you can't avoid.
Yeah, hey, let's wait a couple of months. Oh, the price has gone up by 20 quid.
Can't get that anymore.
Hey, let's get Super Mario old 3D All-Stars. What do you mean they're not selling it anymore?
It's funny because at the time, I mean, it was an unquestionable, I'm going to buy that. There's no, I bought the digital one because, I'm never going to get rid of it. And then the thing, it's going to go off sale, and how ridiculous, that's ages away, who cares about that? But now when it actually came around, it's like, this is so stupid. I can understand them saying, we're only going to run the physical version for a certain amount of time. It's going to be a limited edition physical version, but you just then on buy digital. But to just pull it, I don't understand it.
And people must have rushed to just buy it. I guess it was more of a short-term boost in sales, probably. And then when you have that false like the artificial scarcity of going, well, we're going to pull it. Well, there's not artificial, it's just they just pulling it and removing it completely, apart from like secondhand or leftover stock, I guess. It's like, well, if you want it, you need to buy it by March or you're fucked.
Yes, I mean, it makes you wonder, was there sort of feedback that it wasn't that great and they sort of thought, we might want to try and sort of boost the sales a bit, but then I don't know if Nintendo actually operate in that, that kind of thing.
I would have liked them to remaster the games more, did them up more, but at the same time, my preference would have been like Wonder Boy the Dragon's Trap and like Halo. You press a button and it goes back to the old visuals. Yeah. So that would have been really cool if you were able to press like the minus button and it would switch you to the old visuals, and press the minus button and press it again and it goes back to the remastered visuals. I think that would have been better because it's like, oh my god, look how far this game has come in however many years, but 20 odd years. But it was just like, they've up-resed it. They've made it widescrreen. From what I've heard, more effort went into Galaxy because they had to rebuild stuff or something. But
it's just I just little things like Sunshine. I really enjoyed Sunshine, and I've probably enjoyed it more. I think I've played it all the way through 3 times, but I've never got all the shines in it. I'm going to get everything in this collection. I'm going to do it this time. And there's just little things in it. You think, like the blue coin thing, all they had to do, I say all they had to do, I know it takes effort to do it and build it into the UI and stuff, but the blue coin thing, all they needed was they've got a shine count for each level that you can hover over. All they need to do is have Act 1 or whatever they called it, blue coins, 0 of 8.
Yeah.
Act 2, 0 of 3 or something. When you go, okay, I've got them all in that one, I know where to hunt. Doesn't need any more hinting, or doesn't need anything more than just like say, if you want to get everything, here's where they are. They're in this level. It's not like they don't tell you where the shines are. They clearly say you've got 2 more shines to get in this.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. Ubellion said you could probably source your own far superior 3D All-Stars package from fan-made remasters, and you're probably right. There is that one that I saw. I think it was Jasm playing, and it was really cool. I think it had like a Yoshi kind of, a Yoshi's Island kind of look to it.
Yeah, there's the PC, the sort of reverse engineered source code PC version, which has got all sorts of stuff you can do on it. Yeah, that was one of them where you can toggle like different power-ups and different art styles, and yeah, it's just, and that's using the original code. Even just adding widescreen to it would have been.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm pretty sure Dolphin can do Sunshine with widescreen.
Sunshine they did put widescreen in it. They did do that, but if with Mario 64.
Sorry, and 64, I think you can do it with emulators.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's just bizarre. I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know.
In some ways, I wanted a like toggleable, nicer visuals for Mario 64, but I prefer the art. I do like the art style of that, and it's got a certain charm. They did improve the textures a bit and things, but to not just plonk widescreen in it when it's clearly possible, as we've seen from other things.
Except for me, a simple button press to have a remastered visuals and the old school visuals. Because if the game plays exactly the same and they just reskin it, then I don't know, it's not just reskin it, but you know what I mean? Like it plays the same, so you can just switch back and forth, kind of like Halo and Monster Boy. No, sorry, not Monster Boy. Monster Boy is the sequel, Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Graham. Hey Drooler. I don't know. It's just a lot of crap, really, But it is. It's like there's literally not. And like you said, it's more. It's not understand. It's completely understandable. It's a lot more understandable. Say, right, this is a limited edition thing. we're gonna only sell it on your in stores for this long. They don't need to remove it digitally. They can leave that there because it's not gonna increase in value when it's connected to someone's account. Like it's just it's not like they could trade her in and or sell her off to someone else. I guess but I was gonna say I guess it could bring the value down of the games for people to sell on. But why would Nintendo care? They're not getting any money from that.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
So it would probably be better if they kept that on there, because at least then, if people are like, all right, this game has gone up to 120 quid because you can't buy it physically anymore, you say, fuck it, I'll buy it on the eShop when it's on offer, and Nintendo getting some money for it instead of losing out.
But it's like, I don't get it. Now it's gone. I really see the stupidity of pulling it. Like I say, if they didn't want to do an endless run of something which they think the sales of, the people who were going to buy that collection, the sales will start dipping once the 30 years of Mario or 50 years, whatever it was, is gone. I can get them saying the physical version is going to be a limited release and it's going to have some nice artwork in it and stuff, and like a different coloured cartridge, like a gold cartridge or red cartridge or something. And then, but after March, you're going to only be able to get it digitally. That would make some sort of sense. But
yeah, it's kind of expected them to have released 3D All Stars kind of half-assed. When you look at the Wii release of Super Mario All Stars, people are expecting it to be, improved upon in some way, and they just released the SNES game on a disc.
ROM, wasn't it? Wasn't it like a sort of like 8 or 2 megabyte ROM on a disc?
Yeah. I remember reading years ago, this was now years and years ago, that on the Wii or the Wii U's virtual console, one of the ROMs that Nintendo had put out for like Mario Brothers or something was actually a ROM that was made by some like person on it who then uploaded it to the internet, and they had downloaded it and used that. They didn't even use their own stuff. They complain about people, and then they did complain about people fucking doing it.
Somebody found that. I can't remember. There's something like when you look at, however you look at the code of the ROM, when it gets ripped, it kind of hashes in like an ID of who did it, where it came. There was a certain string which will get generated within the header of the ROM, and it's something like if you looked at that could then be traced to like where it came from. This person did it, and that person was somebody who'd just done a bunch of them on. Who'd had something like had a cease and desist, take these ROMs down, and then they just taken them off there themselves. It's like, you can just use your own stuff.
I know, it's ridiculous. The thing is I understand a lot of games nowadays, older games, they're not resold. You can't buy them. They're not on print. Honestly, they're not selling them. They're not making money from them anymore, and they probably never will now. I don't see why they got such an issue with people downloading them or keeping them on sites as preservation, because at the end of the day, it'll come to a point where you're not going to be able to get those games if they're not made into ROMs or emulated, because that is it will happen, because the carts will die eventually with whatever problems they got. Some of them, the batteries will die. I think you can replace them. Stuff like that.
I went on my Wii U a month or so ago. I can't remember why. I can't remember why I was doing it, but I went on the shop. Oh, that was it. It's because I was selling my Wii Fit, the little Fit meter things, and I read you had to actually load up Wii Fit to tell it to deactivate, to unpair them, otherwise they're basically unusable, because I was selling them to Green Gecko. So I had to go in the Wii shop to download the Wii Fit again, and while I was on there, I haven't been on there for so long, and God, it's clunky, but you go on there, and the shop's really jolly and really Nintendo.
Yeah.
I thought, and they had the virtual console section, and I said, oh, let's have a little look in that. I can't believe the games that are on that. Like Game Boy Advance section, DS section, N64, Wii. It's basically a full complement of Nintendo stuff. I think, why the hell is this not on the Switch, or in such a drip-drab way? All those N64 games on there, all those Game Boy Advance games, be perfect for the Switch.
Yeah. What's worse is the Wii, because they had WiiWare titles. For example, they had like remasters of old Konami games like Castlevania and so on. That was exclusive to WiiWare, and you can't get them now. They're not on any other store, and the Wii store is gone.
That was it. I think my first WiiWare game I bought was it Lost Winds? Lost Winds?
Yeah, Lost Winds.
That was great.
It was cool. I never finished though because I'm awful at finishing games.
I never bought the sequel though. I don't know why. Probably being tight or something. I think I wasn't very well off at the time. So I'm not paying. Yeah, because you had to buy the points. You couldn't just at the time they hadn't put credit card stuff into it then, so you had to buy points cards. So you had to go to the shop up the road to buy your points, and it was like 800 points or something, and you could only buy them in thousands. So you always had a bit left over, and it was like, oh, I'm not doing that. But the very first game, really nice use of the remote. You used to sort of swish the wind, didn't you? Sort of like a wand, you swish the wind up. Yeah, that was really good. That.
Yeah, I remember really enjoying it back in the day.
Oh, so another thing that was really good.
I was sure Suz was working for the company when they did the second one. Yeah. Well, I don't know if he doesn't go by Suz now, does he? I think he just goes by Chris. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's jogged my memory or something as well. It's like you could gift virtual console games as well, because a mate of mine sent me Sonic 2 at Christmas. It was really cool because you had the little. Remember the front of the Wii used to blink, didn't it?
Blue.
You had a message, and then you go in and say, "Oh, you got like a letter." You'd open your little letter up, and it's like, "Oh, Dave has sent you Sonic 2. Merry Christmas!" Like, how cool's that?
It is really cool. Well, I think it was back on Games Radar when people were doing buying. I think everyone was like trading a game for Christmas, kind of thing, as a gift. Kind of like a Secret Santa, but with a game from the from the eShop. I'm sure to fuck someone on there. I cannot remember who. I'm sure they just sent everyone, as well as the one game to the one person. Everyone like a copy of something like Donkey Kong or something like that, just to be nice. Like,
yeah, that's so cool. Well, yeah, it's I look very very fondly on the Wii. It's like one of those things. It's like it's easy to take the piss out of it and say or waggle and stuff, but that was something else when that came out, and it did everything right.
You know, I think the issue with the Wii, apart from the waggle for certain people, like it didn't bother me having motion controls. I think the biggest issue with the Wii was there wasn't a lot of Nintendo stuff, and most third-party stuff was like crap. That makes it like a lot. Yeah. Like I think when it started, like I think maybe like the first year was a bit barren or something, and then the second year picked up a bit with more third-party stuff like Zack and Wiki and so on, and then it kind of like became it was basically a shovelware console then, apart from like some occasional third-party awesomeness and Nintendo's output, which was if I believe at the time was really good. I think that is why it's probably not a beloved Nintendo console, because if like most people, you say what's your favorite Nintendo console, the chances are they'll say GameCube, SNES or N64. Wii tends to be very low on the list. And it's a shame, really. And I think the ratio of like bad stuff to high quality stuff in sense of quantity is probably why a lot see it as not great. And also I think some people are just instantly like, nah, not interested in waggle, and it's like it's enjoyable. I can understand with some things like in Super Mario Galaxy you can press a button to spin, but I enjoyed flicking my wrist. And I enjoyed playing Skyward Sword with the remote and nunchuck. I enjoyed that. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I never had a problem with the Wii stuff. It was the shovelware, because there was a time I just thought, I really went off it. I completely I think it was when I got my PlayStation 3, I just started going, do you know what? I was playing Uncharted and was like, oh, this is more like it. This is because I think one of the last games I probably got was Donkey Kong Country Returns, and I loved it. I had a really good selection of games on my Wii, but then they came upon me suddenly. I was like, now there's nothing I'm interested in. There's nothing coming up that I'm interested in, and then it was just utter, like I say, shovelware shite was just coming out, and that really was Waggle. That was like, it's not using motion controls in a cool way like Wii Sports did, or Galaxy, where the swish thing, I was like, just sort of bonking on someone's head with it. That's what it felt like to me, or Skyward Sword. I really enjoyed playing like that. Even Twilight Princess, even though it was kind of shoehorned in a bit. The shield worked with the nunchuck, didn't it?
Yeah.
But it was the shovelware stuff where it really was just like, to run, shake it, you shake it in the air, because we've got to use this somehow, so shake it. But, yeah.
I see you, baby. Shaking that remote.
Motion plus.
Wii Sports Resort I never got, which I heard is supposed to be very good. It's a shame, really, but I really enjoyed Wii Sports. I think I would have liked Wii Sports or another tennis game to be as fun to play as Wii Tennis, but also let you move around yourself.
The ping pong one on Wii Play was good. Did you ever play that? Very, it's stupidly basic. You basically just move the remote left and right to sort of play. You didn't whack it like a proper take a swing at it like you did in tennis. You just basically moved your hand left or right.
I had Wii Play because it came with a Wii remote, so it's like 35 quid for the game, 35 quid for a Wii remote. I may as well buy the game and get a free Wii remote. That was to me actually, it was buy a Wii remote, get a free game.
Yeah, well, I think that's what most people did. I remember I got my Wii, I got Wii Play with it for that exact reason, and then it was quite close to Christmas, I think, because somebody else bought me Wii Play. In fact, I think two more people bought me Wii Play for the same reason. So I had 3 copies of Wii Play. So then I had 4 remotes at Christmas. So I just gave my mate the game disc because he bought an extra remote without the game, just so you can have this because I've got 3 copies of this game.
Yeah.
So I think I've got something stupid like 7 Wiimotes, but it's perfect because that game that Christmas is brilliant. Everybody would play it. There wasn't one person who came round, or when you took the console round to like a family get together or a friend get together, it's small enough to just take in a little bag with you or a little carrier bag or something. 4 controllers, and everyone would play it. There wasn't one person who'd go on. I'm not playing that.
It was good fun.
Everyone would have a go.
Yeah, the most played sports in my household were tennis and bowling.
Yeah, tennis was a good one. Tennis was surprisingly good. That one I found was harder to get people to have a go on because they thought they needed to move around a lot more than they really did, and sometimes you had to say no, you don't have to. When the shot was coming towards them,
they'd start running across the room, going, "I gotta get it!"
Start going right and stuff. Like one of my mates, to serve, he actually did a full-blown, throw an imaginary ball up in the air and then jump in the air and swipe at it and twatted the lampshade. Like, really, but I'm talking like, because he played tennis, I'm talking like a full pelt, as if he was really serving. It's like, I don't know how he didn't just shatter it everywhere. I said, you do. I said, watch this. I just flicked my wrist up in the air and flicked it right. Because that's how much you need to move. So likewise, it was telling people you don't actually need to run and dive for the ball, because the character said, look, the character moves, just sort of swipe left or right, or you can sort of gently tap up or put a bit of top spin on it and stuff, but you don't actually have to move 2 meters across the room and hit the fireplace. Where bowling was like, people would often want to walk forward. It's like, no, you don't need to walk forward either. You don't have to do that. But yeah, so it was a lot easier to get people to have a go on tennis. Golf, forget it.
Could you imagine Wii Sports whilst having a VR headset on? Fucking hell.
Yeah. I mean,
people would end up dead. Especially with the fencing one from Wii Sports Resort that I've seen people play.
Last time one of my friends came up ages ago. He'd never played VR, but he's really looking for. He's like, oh yeah, that sounds great. I can't wait to have a go on it. So I'm in the room I'm in now, which is kind of just big enough to do room scale, you know, where you can walk around in it, walk around the space. And he was playing Super Hot VR, which I don't know if you know how Super Hot works.
Yeah, I know. I played some of Super Hot. I've never played the VR version though.
Oh my god, it is just amazing. So for those listening that don't know how Super Hot works, it's a very sort of stylized, very basic polygon-based room, and you're a person, and there's people that are big red polygon people that come at you, and they only move when you're moving. So if you move your hands with the controller in, they start moving. If you move your head, they move. Otherwise, if you stay still, they don't come for you. But it's sort of full scale and things. So you can grab weapons off them if they come close enough to you. You can punch them in the face. You can grab sort of ashtrays off tables next to you and throw them across the room. So my mate was playing this, and he's like, "Oh, this is amazing!" But I was in the room with him, so I sort of backed into the door. And then he sort of, because he's walking around, maybe how large is this room? Maybe sort of 10 foot long by 2.5 meters wide. So he's walking around in this room, sort of doing his Matrix stuff, you know, reaching behind him, grabbing things, ducking, sort of dropping to the floor, peeking over things, and then he ended up facing me, and I was backed into the corner, and then he's sort of moving closer and closer, and I could see on the monitor on the other corner of the room that he didn't have any weapons on him, so he was stepping forward, boxing, trying to punch this thing, and I reckon he was maybe 10 centimeters away from punching me square in the face. I had to drop down right into the corner of the room, put my head right back, and hope he didn't do an uppercut or something. When he finished, he's like, "Oh, that was just amazing." He's like, "Oh, I'm blown away." But I said, "You wouldn't believe how close you were to punching me in the face."
That's awesome. Oh man, I wish I had proper PC VR. Dark Ruler in chat said Rocket presents table tennis. It was meant to be good. I played that. I really enjoyed it personally. I'm not a massive sports game fan, but for some reason I really got into that. It was fun. I remember it looking amazing at the time as well, but you know.
Yeah, I remember that was that Rockstar Presents thing. Yeah, I remember that looking really good, and I don't know why I didn't get it. Because
it's the second best Rockstar game I've played, behind Red Dead Redemption. I don't really like GTA.
An emulator or something.
Grum said Super Hot VR is amazing.
It is. That's one of those things you can't convey how it's like being in the Matrix. The shit you just do stuff that you've seen in 1,000 action films, and you're just grinning like a twat the whole time you're doing it. It's like because it's amazing. Like there'll be people
walking past, looking through the window, going, "What the fuck is wrong with him?"
Because the time only moving when you move. It's like you'll sort of duck, but there's one bit where you're in a kitchen, and then you just see people. There's people that are sort of running in from either side. So you just duck behind the counter and sort of peek your head up over the counter, and you can see them coming up. Right, what am I going to do? There's a pan there, and there's a pot there, and then but I haven't got any guns. And then one of them is shooting. Cause you can see a big red trail of the bullet. So you. Like, I'm doing it with my hands. I took my finger off the unpush to talk button. And so someone shoots a bullet, so I picked a pan up and went ping and deflected the bullet with it. And then I chucked the pot at the person. They died. Their gun flew up in the air. I grabbed it out of the air, turned around behind me, shot someone in the head. Their gun then flew through the air. I threw the other one out of my hand, grabbed it as it went over my head, turned around and shot someone in the face. It was like It was just like the Matrix. It was amazing.
Do you know what? I really need to get a VR headset with. It does sound really like when I played Super Hot, I thought that's pretty cool. Playing the game, like, and I know a lot of people loved it, and it is good, but playing in VR sounds so much more interesting.
That's always the go-to.
Oh my god, it's John Wick.
the one that's what it's like though. It really is like that because it's rigged in a way that if you kill an enemy that's got a weapon, it will come kind of towards you, and you don't move through I don't know how the normal Super Hot works, but you're just in a, like it would say, place it in the room you're in now, and it'll just go fight, and you kill people, and once you kill the last person, it then fades to white, and then it pops you somewhere else. Well, sometimes there's one where you're in a lift, I think it is, and then it just goes, and you're in a lift, and there's just two people. It says like dodge this or something, and then immediately there's two guns in your face. So you grab one, shoot the other person, and then that's that bit done, and you move on to the next bit, and you're kind of down the corridor. Well, what you can do is, before you move on, you can chuck a gun to yourself. So you can throw a gun in the air, you'll appear in the next part, and if you look behind you, that gun's coming towards you, so you can turn around and grab the gun you've just thrown. Yeah, it's so clever. It's my go-to kind of show off. If I want to show people what VR is really about, I put that one on, because you can put like the Star Wars one on where the Millennium Falcon flies.
Oh, when's lockdown over, guys? I'm off of Victor's house.
There's that one. I was like, or play one of my racing games where I get my seat out and say, right, okay, sit in that, and let's put you in a go-kart or something. It's like, fucking hell, it's like I'm driving an actual car. Yeah, it's so good. But the thing that puts me off playing it more is that there is a level of effort required to do it. You know, because you've got to clear the floor space. You know, I've got like guitars and things in here. I'd have to move them out of the way, because you do forget where you are sometimes, and especially playing something like Half-Life Alyx, where I think I've said before, where I was trying to duck behind something to avoid getting shot, and I sat on my PC.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's the thing, though, is like, obviously there's different ways with VR, but there's also things like the Oculus, which is primarily wireless and stuff, so it's a bit easier to get done. And I think the way people get around it is like, I think it's meant to play stuff itself, but you can have like a virtual thing that connects to your PC and plays things with Steam and stuff. I think something like that.
I'm on the first revision of the Vive, so it's the very, I'm pretty much using the oldest, apart from the very first Oculus, I'm using one of the oldest things, so I'm using pretty old stuff. Now you look at what Kix has got, the I think it's Oculus Quest it's called, where it's the wireless one. That seems to be the one where the barrier for having a quick go on it is taken away by just, you could be sat on your sofa and put that over your head. Because if I'm putting my Vive on, I've got trackers in each corner of the room which need their own power source. I've got to go and plug those in, turn them on, clear my floor away, start my PC up, make sure my controllers are charged, put my headset on, plug all that into the breakout box, route the cable along the floor properly so I don't trip over and hang myself. There's a definite level of effort, whereas the Quest one, you can have that sat on your sofa and just go, right, I'm going to play a bit of Super Hot VR now, and just put that on without having to do any of that other stuff. So yeah, that seems like a much better way of doing it.
Yeah, it does sound much more. I wonder how good it is for like if he'll work with a room scale and stuff like that, or if he'll just be a more basic way of doing VR.
So I'm going to put in the chat some footage of me playing Super Hot VR if you want to take a look at some point.
Definitely, and I'll put a link into Twitch, not Twitch, into YouTube if you want. Here.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just because we were just talking about it. But the VR's moved. Like I don't know if you've got PSVR, haven't you?
I got PlayStation VR, yeah.
Yeah, the headset is actually really good. I've said before, I think the screen quality itself is better than the Vive I've got. Just the tracking is absolutely appalling. But to do proper room scale, I know the Quest does it because it uses inside-out tracking. I don't know how accurate that actually is or anything, but it's I don't play it nearly enough, just purely because the room I'm in now, which is the one that is set up for it. If I want to play Super Hot now, I really have to move my guitars out because they're going to get broken. I've got Lego models on a shelf which are probably going to get obliterated if I forget where I am. There's that definite level of effort. Whereas if I'm doing my racing games, it's a bit less. I've got to put my chair out and stuff, which is a bit of a pain in the arse. But once I'm in that chair, I'm not moving anywhere, so at least I don't have to clear up the rest of the room out.
I think it was when the PlayStation VR was first shown. Like, I'm not a massive fan of Res, but didn't they show when it was first shown, there was Like they had the VR headset on and they had like a suit and everything, so you could feel like some kind of like haptic feedback through the suit. So
yeah.
That sounds really interesting. Can you imagine playing a game the way you're getting shot and you can feel every shot?
God,
Hey,
yeah,
you thought it was cool feeling the rain on your pad? Wait till you feel a bullet in your ass.
Sold. So suddenly I've got a whole new interest in bullet hell games.
Every time they start shooting, you just turn around and bend over.
It's like, where's the bazooka mod?
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, VR is really cool. It's just a faff to set up, especially with the PlayStation 5 now. I haven't got my PS4. Like I did see something on the forum, and they showed like different controllers saying this is going to be coming for the PlayStation VR 2. So I'm hoping that they'll improve upon it a lot and it'll be better.
Yeah, I really hope it's the tracking. I don't play much PSVR because the tracking is so bad. It's constantly drifting. It's never on center. It's if I start it up and I look forward, and you can hold. I think it's option you can hold to center it. It's never on center. It's always just off. So I end up turning my head to the left a bit to trick it into thinking I'm looking a bit left. So then when I turn my head right, it's now centered. And even then, give it 5 minutes of playing something, and then you just realise you go, hang on a minute, I'm looking left here. Oh, that's because it's drifted off that way. It's just they basically bodged it to work with stuff they'd already made.
Yeah, I haven't played it a massive amount. I've only played it a couple of times, but like the main experience I just really enjoyed playing fucking, as I've said, Astro Rescue Bot.
That is brilliant, that game.
Like I was disappointed with Astro's Playroom, is it the newest one? Not in the sense of I didn't enjoy the game. I was just disappointed it wasn't VR.
Yeah, it's like,
I thought it was so cool. Like,
yeah, it's like having experienced the VR one, it's like, this is great, but I would love to be able to sort of have the little things that you miss out on, that like where you're running along like through a little cave or something, and you can sort of duck your head round the corner and peek down, just peek into a little hole and see there's something in there. So you jump him in the hole and watch him go down the little hole, and yeah, you miss out on all those little bits.
Yeah, the VR's great. It's, you know, the one thing I remember. One time, the first day I was playing VR, I was playing something and I was like, "Yeah, this is really cool," and I was doing stuff. And then I took the headset off and I could see my miss just standing there staring at me really weird. I was like, "Where the fuck did you come from?" Because I couldn't hear anything outside of the stuff that was on the headset. I couldn't see anything outside the stuff that was on the headset. So if that was someone who wanted to stab me, they could have done it easily.
Well, that's it. I mean, it doesn't happen much anymore, but I think when my wife had a different job, I think it's because probably going back about 5 years I've had this now. I think she'd go away, sometimes she'd go away for like a night or something. I could never play it because even playing, say I was playing a racing game, you're so into it. Someone could easily walk in and be walking around your house and you'd have no idea.
You heard it here first, guys. You'll die if you play VR. Warning: may get stabbed without knowing it. Yeah, and if you've got the magic haptic suit where you get shot a lot, you're not going to feel the knife. You're just going to die, thinking you're being shot by the game.
You're going, oh yeah, stab me.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, I really would like to get VR for the PC. Problem is, there's just no room. I'm got a games room. I'm in the living room, like, so.
Yeah.
I know my luck. I would go around and I'd punch my TV or something, and I like my TV.
You can set when you. There's also the faff of setting it up as well. Like I don't know, with Steam VR, maybe the process is different for other headsets, but like if when you first set it up, it'll take you a good hour to set it up. I mean, it's like putting this thing together and putting the trackers up, because then you've got to define your space. So it gets you to hold one of the controllers and pull the trigger on it, and you walk around your room with it tracing the boundaries of your play area. And then based on that, it goes, okay, based on that, this is a safe area within that. The safe area, say you mapped out your living room as it is now,
Yeah.
and it's like, say there's like an S shape for some reason, you've got like a coffee table or something that can't move, you map out and it goes, well, you can't use that, so your safe area is like 1 meter by 1 meter, so really you're only good for standing VR.
I was
And it does.
expecting you to mention having a fucking L shape corner
I
sofa in the middle of the
was
room. I like how you were say you had an S shape, like an L shaped sofa instead. Actually,
the chances are you haven't got any room in there anyway. It's probably blocking one of your doors and kind of shoved in at an angle. But yeah, there's a I think it's called the chaperone boundaries, where you can once you approach, because you've told it where your boundaries or your walls are, you can say, once I get within like arm's reach of that, it will start to fade in, so it shows you where your boundaries are. But even then, you can disable that a bit. So you put it on pro level, where it's basically just showing where the floor is, because I don't want, in a small space, I don't want to constantly be being told there's a wall there and breaking the immersion. But even with that on, you can get like Half-Life Alex. I really punched. I had I bought the index controllers then, so it's got the full finger tracking and stuff. So
yeah,
you're grabbing at things and properly reloading a weapon. It's so cool. Like,
yeah, that sounds really cool.
you push a button on the controller to drop the magazine out, but your brain suddenly, to your brain, you're clicking a thing on the gun. You pull a magazine out your backpack behind you, clip it in, pull the top, and then you turn. You're doing that sort of against the wall because someone's, you're reloading under pressure. You then go to sort of duck around and stick your arm around the wall. Unbeknownst to you, you've moved close to your actual wall, so you pretty much try and put your hand 4 foot through the wall, and you go whack. Oh my god, really punch the wall. God, imagine if that'd been your TV or something.
I'd cry. My TV would break as well because it's about fucking 3 centimeters. No, not even that. It's like a centimeter thick sheet of glass. Rebellion says, remember the part where Astro goes through the tube to access an ice area with penguins and such? I swear the controller felt cool doing that transition, like there was Kool-Aid being circulated, vented inside the DualSense during that specific moment. I honestly can't remember. I played Astrobot when I first got my PlayStation 5, sorry, and I've slept since then. And I've got a weird memory. It's like I'll forget lots of things and other stuff, like me and the missus have talked about recently. She's like, how the hell can you remember this stuff? I can't remember it. And it's like stuff that I'm not even interested in, yet I'll remember it. Like, I don't like some of this stuff. Like, say she's watching EastEnders, for example, and I've seen an episode here or there, and I'll remember, like, oh yeah, it's blah 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 from EastEnders from 20 years ago, and she's like, how can you remember that? I don't fucking know. And then asked me what I had for dinner at the beginning of the week, and I couldn't tell you.
I have got a really odd memory. We were talking about this a few weeks back. I've got this thing where I can, if I met you in person for 5 minutes, I would be able to I could write down all your mannerisms, every really odd things. So I can, within seconds of meeting someone, I can say, oh, do you notice how they touch their eye, or they do this, or they do that? I just pick these things up. Also, I can watch a film or a TV program once and then recall entire sections of it, the way they said it, how they were standing. I can say, oh, like we'll be watching something. I go, oh, that's that person that was in, just like you were saying, that's that person that was in Green Wing. You should remember that. Oh yeah, she played this. She used to wear a pink top with like a skinny black dress on, and she was in that episode. When they dropped this and they went to this place and did this. It's like, no, I don't. What are you talking about? It's like, oh, do you remember this? Remember that one thing I watched once 10 years ago when we first met? Yeah, that one. But where are we going in 2 weeks? I don't know. Where's the postcode? I don't know. I can't remember where it is. Where are we going? How do we get to the shops?
Yeah. The reason why you can't find your way to the shops because the signs are in Welsh.
Yeah, that's true. They all lead around the same. It's all in a big circle.
Shops in Wales? We haven't got them. What are you talking about?
You go and see the lady down the road who sells at the back of her car.
Bloody music had stopped in the background. Not happy with that. Wait, what were we talking about?
EastEnders.
Oh. Well, Phil is still alive. Phil Mitchell.
I haven't seen EastEnders for, Christ, 20 years? Probably.
It's not my cup of tea, but my other half likes watching the soaps. She watches Emmerdale, Coronation Street, EastEnders. And it's just like, I'm going to watch YouTube. I'm going to go on Twitch.
If you're flicking through, like if I, if you're like playing a game on your telly, like you put your PlayStation into rest mode, and then you just put the telly on, and whatever's on happens to just come on. Then my missus will be like, "What the fuck are you watching?" So I don't know. I've just put the telly on, whatever's on. If it's something like EastEnders or Hollyoaks or something, it's like, right, see if you can guess the plot. See if you can guess what this plot is. Like, okay, this person is having an affair with that person probably, and then this person's going to do this. So it's like, watch for 5 minutes and see what happens. It's like, yep, that's exactly what happened.
I think, like, I'm more interested in stuff like that, and obviously a lot of shows reuse the same stuff. But EastEnders and Coronation Street and Emmerdale and those kind of things, because they like ongoing soaps over like Coronation Street for 50 fucking years, like they're just rehashing the same storylines with different people over and over and over again.
It's mad, isn't it? I remember my first girlfriend. Her and her mum, well, all of them really, they used to watch everything going, to the point where if there was clashes, they'd record it and then watch it after whatever was clashing with it finished. It was just like, it'd be basically like 7 hours straight of soaps.
But Mrs. used to watch quite a lot. She used to watch Home and Away and Neighbours and Hollyoaks.
Well, I still watch Neighbours at school age. Hollyoaks. I used to watch the omnibus because I was normally in bed hanging, so I'd be dying watching 4 hours of Hollyoaks.
Yeah, I'm not really interested. I was never into stuff like soaps and stuff. I tell you what was funny though. I used to watch like Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that on Toonami back on Cartoon Network back when I was like 15, 16, something like that. And I was watching it and my father was like, my God, you were such a child watching cartoons at your age. I was like, it's entertaining, I like it. And then like a couple of days later, I come home from school at dinner time, not realising my father was here. I come in, he's sitting on the chair watching fucking Tweenies. I was like, and you called me a child? I think it was Tweenies. And one of them's got a weekend. He said, this is for adults. Look at him, he's got a weekend, he have. I was like, what? How can you say like I'm immature for my age watching Dragon Ball Z when you were watching Tweenies? It's just what? Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna clue. For all I know, you could have literally just turned over and that came on.
You weren't watching it.
I reckon so as well. Oh, I hate shows like that. My kids used to watch Tweenies, Balamori. Don't like them. Thanks for the raid, Aaron, dude. It is massively appreciated. Currently, me and Victor are talking about TV. Surprisingly, when normally we don't really talk about TV. We talk about memory, really, and then it turned into Tweenie chat.
As it should.
Yeah. What was better than Tweenies or Teletubbies?
I never watched either.
I've watched a lot of, like I said, because of the kids, I've watched a lot. Like there's some shows that are more tolerable than others, to be fair. Like some of them you're like, oh, this'll do. It's not too bad. And then other ones are awful. Like Hey Dougie, for example. That's fine, you know, the one with the kick, that tune that people were playing during the World Cup a couple of years back. You know that one?
Oh, I don't know that one.
Kick, 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 kicky, kicky, kick. Literally all it says.
Sounds like a banging tune.
Yeah, but the original one was stick. In the actual show, it was stick because they were playing with a stick.
That's Sticky Shark.
Stick. But like some shows are more tolerable. It's like you can watch them. The issue now is all my kids like watching YouTube, and they're watching this YouTube crap. I'm like, oh my god, this is awful. Stop watching this stuff. And the missus say to me, I miss the days when they used to just sit down and watch CBeebies. Like, at least it was something tidy. This instead of some dickhead on YouTube just making noise.
Yeah, shouting and screaming and going and opening packets of like stickers or something.
See, come with the nose. Sticky, stick.
I was out this morning. I was like Spotify, like Daily Mix.
Mm-hmm.
Did you used to watch Game On? Remember that from the 90s? I don't know how old you are actually. You might be about 20.
I'm actually 17. I guess that wasn't believable. I'm 35. I'm 30.
Picture.
I'm 36.
Yeah. Well, Game On was a flat share.
It was a flat share. It had that blonde woman in it.
Yes, Samantha Janus.
And one of the people lived there didn't like leaving the house at all. Did
it
they?
was the main guy. He was agoraphobic.
Yeah,
agoraphobic. Yeah, he's But I used to that was like Friday night telly. Was like we used to love it. Well, the theme tune, or rather the tune that was used for the theme of that by the Goo Goo Dolls, Where I Find My Heaven, came on. Just randomly came on. I nearly started crying. It was like the most potent nostalgia. It was really like, oh my god, I remember this. Like, bloody hell, this. I mean, it wasn't even that good, but it was like somebody just came and said, right, you're 15 again or whatever it is. Really, it's a very strong sort of like, like with a game where like the Mario World theme tune or something, or Mario 64 or something, you just go, oh yeah, I remember this. It's great. It was like that, but very strong. It was great.
Yeah, like you're sitting down and all of a sudden some music come on from a game, because I listen to game music as well, randomly. And it'll be from a game you've endured for years, and then you get that tingling feeling all up the back of your neck, and it feels like, hey, it's like, wow. And then you get an erection.
Well, I've got one now. Just talking about it. Anyone remember Fist of Fun or This Morning? I remember both of them very much. I have a signed copy of Fist of Fun, which I got Stuart Lee and Richard Herring to sign individually.
Do you reckon Richard has ever punched Judy?
Oh, definitely.
Punching Judy, the puppets. I'm not advocating violence against women. It was more of a joke about the puppets.
Oh, I am.
Are you advocating violence against women? Or just her specifically?
I've always violence against women, especially if it's her name's Judy. Beat her with a stick.
Cover your ears.
God, Bazonga's out. Yeah, that was... See, now we're getting into the real nostalgia, aren't we? Now we're getting to the real nitty-gritty of the Twitchcast.
Yeah.
Judy Finnegan wardrobe malfunction.
Judy is lovely, Richard is nuts. Fair enough. I don't really follow them. Not a stalker.
Back to talk about the nostalgia thing. Retro Gamer, the latest thing.
I'm read it for ages, man. Such a good magazine.
It's great. I subscribe to it, and I'm happy to let that just keep going and going. It's only like, I think it's like 25 quid every 6 months. You don't barely even notice it. It's a real treat when it turns up with the cover. This month is Gunstar Heroes, one of my all-time favourite games. I still have my original PAL copy, which I got at launch, and it's very good condition.
I think I first played Gunstar Heroes on a Sega Mega Collection. It may have been on the GameCube or something.
It was on a collection, yeah.
And I was about 18, 19 when I first played it. No, wait, I was 17, I think I would have been. and I played it, and I loved it, and I've pretty much played that game nearly every year, just like a quick play, because it's pretty not easy, but I can get through the game. And I just usually give it a quick, like a bash, finish in like an however long, and really damn good.
It's just I've got I bought that. That was one I got from Special Reserve. It was, if you remember, Special Reserve was the it was like it was in the back of like Mean Machine Sega. There'd just be a list of games, and you badger your parents to give you 25 quid to send a check off, and then you might get your game like a month later or 2 months later. It was back in the days of stuff taking a month, and you'd be like, oh great. But Gunstar Heroes in there, I knew nothing about it, but I thought the picture looked cool. I never saw it in any shops. I never saw it in a Woolworths or a Smiths or anything like that. It was never anywhere.
What's Woolworths?
Yeah, God, Woolworths.
I used to love going to Woolworths for pick a mix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just going there for pick a mix.
I bought many a game from Woolworths that was at the top of the time. I remember getting Sonic and Knuckles. No, Sonic 3 I got from Woolworths. My dad took me up to get it, and Sonic and Knuckles I got given on my birthday. But yeah, back to Gunstar Heroes. So that turned up, and oh my God, it was amazing. I mean, you know how good the game is, but back, when that came out, the Mega Drive had nothing like it, and I got so many swaps out of that game. People were like, because I was the only person because it wasn't in the shops, and it was only in that one thing of Special Reserve. You couldn't get it anywhere. I was the only person in school that had it, along with that Story of Thor and Soleil, I think it's pronounced. So I used to get tons of swaps. Like people saying, "Oh, can I borrow Gunstar Heroes? You can have my Super Nintendo and 10 games." If I can borrow Gunstar Heroes. So like summer holiday, I remember one summer holiday I swapped Gunstar Heroes with a guy for his Super Nintendo, which had Mario World, Link to the Past, Mario Kart, Star Fox, Bomberman, like all that sort of... Oh, it was amazing.
Man, that's fucking cool.
I still have that. I still got that one, and I don't know how, considering how many people borrowed it. Maybe I didn't give them the manual or something, but it's in brilliant condition. And that retro gamer, it said it's over £100 now for a good condition PAL one. But I've got on the 3DS, I bought the 3D version, which was converted by M2. So I had to play on that the other day. So going back to what we were saying about the music, I was reading about it, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot I've got that on my 3DS. So put that on, turned it on, and the second that menu comes up, it's like, oh yeah. That was like, that really like dramatic one goes, boom, boom, and the really cool intro music, yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant game.
It is.
You can have a weapon combination which basically breaks the game, which I always play it with. I don't care. I just really enjoy just running through the game and just enjoying all the set pieces.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that game. I thought like the bosses were cool. Like games with boss rushes at the end, I tend to not enjoy very much because I think it's cheap. But in that, it was fine.
Yeah,
I didn't mind it at all. I gotta say, like I said, I came to the game really late. I must have been about 17. If you can't, I don't know. I think I was about 17. It was definitely a good while back, but Gunstar Heroes is definitely one of those games that I fucking love. Also, I think on the same collection, it may have been a different collection, I played Rise Star for the first time. Which I think is, some people say it's called Rista, some people it's called Rise Star. I say Rise Star because it sounds better, but I love that as well.
I never got into that. I remember because I think it was Mean Machine Sega basically took the piss out of it, saying it wants to be Sonic, but it's not as good as Sonic. It's like, I'm not playing that then. Whereas I've played it on certain things since. It's like, oh, actually, it's a pretty good game. So looking at Gunstar Heroes, that came out in '93. I was 13 when that came out.
Oh, you are an old man.
Bloody hell.
I would have been 9.
How much does it say about the quality of that game, though? That it's that old, and you can put it on, and it looks good, and it sounds good, and it plays good still.
Just shows how good the game was, and also how good the Mega Drive chip was. It's like I've heard some tunes on the Mega Drive from shitty games, like, and I'm thinking, like, it's not a great tune, but the sound, it has a nice kind of sound. Like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That sounds really weird. It's just
I didn't realise the Super Nintendo sound chip, someone in the chat correct me if I'm wrong, but the Super Nintendo sound chip was mostly based on sampling. So like the cool music and things you hear in Zelda and all that, like how great it sounds, it's sampled music playing, whereas the Mega Drive's one can't play samples very well, which is why you get that appalling, the speech is all and horrible, whereas its sound is generated by the chip. So actual music and stuff, like proper sound chip music, is better on the Mega Drive. It's just you think the Super Nintendo stuff sounds better because it's basically playing samples.
I'm not sure. I know there's a thread on the forum with music kind of redone in a way that they would have sounded exactly. And the videos on YouTube. And if you I was listening to Super Mario World, and it sounds really strange because it's so different sounding.
It's very odd, isn't it? It's like it'd be like if they sort of reverse engineered the samples. Like this is it with any compression. Didn't that come? Yeah, it came from that leak, didn't it? It's like this is all the compression taken out of it. So this is what it should be like before it was.
I really liked. While I liked it, the one I liked the most was the castle music. When the sound effect comes in, it just sounds amazing on there. I'm like, oh, erection.
It's really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really cool. Speaking of shops, though, Woolworths, I think the very last game I bought from Woolworths was an Assassin's Creed game, because every year it came out, it was around my birthday, and every year my missus would buy it for me, and then I stopped getting them after Unity because, well, I've got some. But I haven't played them. I did start playing Syndicate the other day, but generally speaking, I haven't properly played them. But Woolworths was probably the last game I got. It was probably like Assassin's Creed 2, something like that. Surprisingly,
got from Woolworths was Jak and Daxter for the PlayStation 2.
Yeah,
it sticks in my head of why I got it from there, because I dropped it. I've been playing it a little while, and I think that game constantly streamed from the disc, and I dropped the disc, which is very rare for me to be clumsy with something. I dropped it, and it just went, just the edge of it just touched on something, and it had the most faint, it was almost like a fingerprint smudge on there. But it wouldn't load. It would get to a certain point and just hard freeze. So I really remember taking it back to Woolworths and sort of trying my luck, and because you could barely see it. It's only if you held it in a certain light. I'm taking it back to the counter and saying, look, there's something wrong with this. I can play to a certain point, and then it just freezes. And describing the guy's like, oh, have you scratched it or anything? I was like, no, look at it. And he just turned the disc up. Wasn't even a speck of dust on it. Obviously didn't see the little smudge on it. He goes, oh yeah, that's perfect. He goes, oh, hang on a second. Just reached under the counter, got me a new one. There you go. It's like, whew. But also that same Woolworths, when the first PlayStation came out, they used to put the actual game boxes on the shelves and then keep the discs. So they didn't have dummy boxes, the actual game boxes on the shelves, and keep the discs behind the counter. Well, a mate of mine figured out that whoever would stock the shelves, depending on who was doing it, they wouldn't always actually take the discs out. They just put the game on the shelf. And the shelves weren't really sort of, because they're supposed to be just game boxes, they weren't probably not considered that valuable back then. So he would go in there, open up the game boxes on the shelves, like he got Tekken 2 from there, like shoplifted it. So he went in there, the game was on the shelf, in the box, open, so he just popped it in his pocket and walked out. And he got, I think, about 5 games from that Woolworths.
Terrible.
Because I said, he goes, oh, I got Tekken 2. I said, oh, he goes, oh, they just put stuff in there. And I went up, he goes, look, watch this. We went up to look. And I've opened one of the boxes up. I can't remember what game it was. And I opened one of them up. And I was like, bloody, yeah, they did discs in there. Yeah.
Is it friend, quotation?
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time. Good mate at the time. No, he was a good mate at the time, but I just couldn't.
That's fair enough.
I couldn't believe it. Was just like, cause you think it's one of those bullshit stories. And, oh yeah, oh right, yeah, you get him. He's just thinking his mum's bought him, and he's trying to be cool. Like, oh yeah, I nicked this from Morris. No, next time we're in town, we'll go and have a look. It's like, oh shit, yeah, they're just on the shelf.
I remember someone doing something similar in a shop. I can't remember what shop it was. They licked a load of games, and then they took it to another shop and traded them in. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, there was an independent shop that was a couple of miles away. I used to pop into. I remember going there just to guess. I think it was Smash Brothers Smash Brothers Brawl. I think. I went there and grabbed early because it was out earlier there. By like a week or something, or month, I can't remember. I think I got like the Phoenix Wright games from there because I think they were all American. Shit like that. But I remember Games Workshop in Cardiff, people used to steal from there all the time. They'd walk out with big boxes. I remember being there one time and I watched someone just grab down a load of big boxes of like, I don't know, Warhammer Quest or something.
Full games, yeah.
Put them into and like something like 6 of them. And as they were walking out the shop, like a guy walked up to him and said, "Oh mate," and he's like, turns around, he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Do you want a bag for that?" I was like, "What?"
Oh god.
It used to be awful for people stealing stuff from it. People would do it all the time, but it was still fun popping in and looking at all the miniatures and stuff. But you know.
We used to go to a youth club. Well, I didn't go very often because it's all it's like Back to the Future with like Biff hanging out there. All the bullies used to go as well. But they had this old lady that used to staff a little shop they had in the youth club. So we go in there. That they had an Operation Wolf arcade machine. They had a jukebox which you could hit and then it would skip through because there were LPs in it. It's before CDs. So if the girls that were in there put on like Take That or something, you just go up to it and whack it and then it would like the Fonz and then it would just turn off. But upstairs in there, they had a little sweet shop. What you do, you just go in and say, "Can I have?" You say, "Oh, can I have like £1 worth of sweets?" And the woman would give you a paper bag, but she wouldn't count anything. So you'd just be putting stuff in there. And while you were doing your sweets, and she was looking at you, people were just like jumping over, like leaning over the counter and just like swiping Panda Pops. the cabinet behind her. But once we figured out, like, the poor lady, we think back now, she's probably just scared of us. So we're thinking that she was just being stupid, but we just sort of take the piss and say, well, how low can I go? Right, 50p's worth of sweets and fill a bag. And once I was like, right, I'm going to really take the piss. I said, can I have 2p's worth of sweets? And then I just filled the bag up with probably about £1 worth of penny sweets. Little scallywags, bastards. She's probably dead now.
Yeah. Probably the stress of your kids.
It's awful, isn't it? I think she's probably like just scared of a bunch of teenagers are going to bloody do her over or something.
For a bag of sweets.
Yeah, we just think we're being really clever. Like, yeah, take that, society.
Yeah. I really stole. I have obviously when a child stole it. Like I remember one time I stole a can from a fridge in a shop, and I walked off, and then someone chased after me saying, "Oh, you stole her." I was like, "No, I didn't." He said, "Yeah, this kid just saw you." I was like, "No, I got served. I paid for it." And the guy goes, "No, because I'm the one serving. I didn't serve it." I said, "Yeah." The other guy on the other till served me and took me back to the shop, and the other guy went, "Yeah, I served him." I was like, "Oh, fuck." I remember we were in Butlins. We went away to Butlins, me and like a rugby team. We went to Butlins to stay there because we were supposed to be playing a team in the area, a rugby team. So it was, I think it was like, I don't know what the team was. It was an English team and they didn't show up. So we went there for fuck all. But I remember in one night we were there, a load of the other people in the team went to the miniature golf course, ripped open the box with all the balls in on the course, and just stole them all. All the golf balls. It's like, what the fuck? golf balls.
That's in the morning, like, oh yeah, check out, lads, I've got 25 golf balls. What are you going to do with that? Well, play mini golf. It's a bit suspect they're turning up there. Someone's nicked all the golf balls. Oh, don't worry, we've brought her.
I don't understand why. Why would you want them golf balls? It's funny though you hear about stealing and because I remember I used to work in a co-op. I used to work nights. I did 8 till 12, but a lot of time I'd stay on. But before I was working there, one of my friend's older brothers was it was after I left actually. I think. It was after I left. One of my friend's brothers was working there, and I think him and like another 2 of the people who were working at the same time as me, they all got sacked because it turned out they were like in the nights when they were doing their jobs, they were like taking stuff and they like took TVs and loads of shit. they got away from it with it for a while, so they should have just carried on. I think they ended up getting caught on like a hidden camera or something.
Yeah, so just escalate it a bit. Well, let's try taking a TV. No one will notice.
It's daft, man.
Ian, tried to steal a water cooler. Brilliant.
A water cooler? That's not a bad thing to have. Keep your water cool. It's
In a
yeah.
sec. I just hope we've sort of incriminated ourselves enough for some sort of future scandal.
No, I didn't do anything. I have 50. Well, it wouldn't have been. It would be like 30 pence the can would have at the time. Even with inflation, it's only like 25 quid. But no, it was good fun back in the day. With certain things. But yeah, like I'm thinking about it, talking about old games. One game I got from Toys R Us way back in the day was Sonic and Knuckles. I remember going with my gran to Cardiff, and literally just to get Sonic and Knuckles.
It was great. I think I remember I got a Street Fighter 2 Special Champion Edition and 2 6-button controllers from Toys R Us near what would then become Cribbs Causeway, because that wasn't there then. So there was on the way to Bristol. There's a massive Asda there now. That wasn't there before either. So it was just the Toys R Us. So it was like a proper day treat. It's like parents would drive us, feel like you're going to the ends of the earth, like go out there and buy that. It was bloody expensive though.
Yeah.
I remember even though my parents were buying it, thinking like 60 quid game or something with 2 20 quid controllers. I mean, it was quite a good treat.
I remember back in Toys R Us, I hadn't been here for years, but you used to buy stuff and then you'd go to the till and get paid. And then it's kind of like Argos in a sense, where you'd have to go and wait by this, I think it was just for games or certain electronics, you have to wait by this hole in the wall where there's a person behind like a bit of glass or something. And they'd be like, right, okay, let me have a look and I'll go get it for you out the back. And I remember that. I don't know why. I remember, like, I used to go with my gran to Cardiff on occasion. Like, she died a few years back. She was like 97 when she passed away. So, I think she would have been, she'd be 101 now, she would. Wow. I think it is, yeah. But, like, because she wasn't my nan, she was my great grandmother. That when I was born, there was 5 generations. There was me, my mother, my nan, her mother, and her mother. And then when my first child was born, like, there was 5 generations again.
Right.
Yeah, which was my gran, my nan, my mother, me, and then my kid, and then a couple of other kids. But I remember going to Cardiff quite often, like, with her, and we'd go to like get some toys or get some games. But we'd all, like, I think I said this before. I don't know if it was on you or another place, but we used to go to this place in Cardiff. I can't remember where it is. You'd go into like an elevator or lift, whatever you want to say. You go in there, and I remember it being like kind of like one way you can see outside because it's glass behind you. And then you go up, and then you go into this restaurant area, and then there was TVs on. You could watch cartoons while you're eating your food. It was great.
I wonder if is it John Lewis has a big sort of glass. Mind you, that's probably a custom building now, isn't it? Probably not the same one, but I wonder where that was.
I have no idea. I just remember going there, and this is a long time ago. You're looking at, well, when Sonic and Knuckles came out. It was 196
before the stadium or anything, wasn't it?
94, 93. Oh, it was a long time ago. Yeah. Oh, Pedz in the Great Glass Elevator. Yep, that's me. I am now Charlie Bucket.
Actually.
Is it Charlie Bucket in the Great Grass Elevator? Great Grass Elevator. It's just you're in an elevator smoking weed.
Man, get in. Ride, don't stop.
Oh Jesus.
Right, I
damn,
must go
Charlie
now.
the Chocolate Factory was shit.
I got to take the dog out.
Not Charlie the Chocolate Factory. Willy Wonka, the new one.
I have my poo.
Right, you have your poo. I hope you enjoy it. Right, guys, that's going to be the end of us tonight then. Unless you have any questions to ask me, because Victor has to leave. But we will be back next week. The plan is to come back next week to talk about the state of play that is happening. It should be happening in a minute, as well as other stuff. I'm not sure who's available. I think Dark Ruler may be, and I believe Cora may be. I am unsure about Victor. I'm not answering for him either.
If there's any sort of crimes from your youth you want to confess to, maybe think of those and get it off your chest.
Yeah,
sort of
do that,
group
yeah.
therapy thing. Maybe the time you sort of... Who was the person on the forum who buried the wrong cat? If you got something along those lines, that'd be good.
Who was that? What was it? The cat came back. They put it down because it was really ill, and then it turned. Then the cat came back. Like,
no, I don't think they put it down. Their cat had vanished. They found their cat. I think they found their cat dead in the road, and then they buried the cat. And then a couple of days later, their cat walked back in. It's like we just buried somebody else's cat.
yeah. Is anyone live watching the state of play? I would have done it if there was people jumping in, but there isn't, so no. Victor Mildew, what kind of guitars do you have?
I have. I don't know if you know of models or anything, but I have a Gretsch bass, which is a short scale bass. I have a Fender Telecaster, which is a solid body. I have an Epiphone Riviera, which is my favourite, which is my first guitar I got, which is a semi-acoustic. So that's primarily an electric. And I've got my latest one, which is my Epiphone Jumbo Acoustic, which is absolutely beautiful to play. And I also have an acoustic, which I bought while I was travelling in Australia, which doesn't really get a look in now. It just kind of sits there, more of a memory piece than anything.
Nice. I have guitars. Well, they. I don't know. I've got mine on it says Gibson Epiphone, and it's a Flying V, and the guitar is old as fuck. My uncle gave it to me. My uncle had it, I think, like I was born.
You say Gibson Epiphone?
Yeah. It's old.
Does it say Gibson or Epiphone, or does it say Gibson Epiphone?
It says Gibson Epiphone.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, because if it said just Gibson, then it's worth a bloody fortune. But
nah, it's Gibson Epiphone. Another one I got was like a Tanglewood guitar, which was like 99 quid. And another one I've got looks like a cross shape, like an X. I can't remember what they're called.
Well, some of the cheaper ones can be all right, really. They're not too bad. Yeah, they could be, like, if you're starting out, some of the especially the Squire ones, which Squire are like the cheapo. They're like Fender make dirt cheap replicas of their own guitar. You can get it's like 99 quid. It's a classic like Argos bundle.
Isn't the Telecaster what Kurt Cobain used to use?
He used a Fender Jaguar and a Fender Mustang, and he cut one in half and the other in half, and then stuck the two bits together to make a Jag Stang.
Oh, well, there you go then. I didn't know that. Anyway.
So so you're listening to Guitar Chats, right? I really must go now. So nice to talk, and cheers everyone.
Right, clench your cheeks before you go.
I'm off to play some Bullet Hell.
Right then.
Well then.
Catch you later, Victor. Thank you very much for taking part, dude.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Everyone else, that means we are ending now. If you enjoyed the podcast, don't forget, look for GRcade on like your podcast apps and stuff, and you'll find us there. Also, you can check out GRcade Video on YouTube, and also the podcast will be uploaded there. Don't forget to check out GRcade UK on Twitch. I'm saying this on Twitch currently, but for those people who are listening on a podcast app, they now know to come here to check out the Twitch channel. The next stream, I believe, is tomorrow, and I think Dark Ruler's going to be playing something, and after that, then it'll be Sunday with Are You Master Mario Maker week round 7. And also check out grcade.co.uk. That is the address for the forum. And this is where many of us, everyone who's taking part in the podcast is from there. And most people in chat are from there too. So you must check it out. Also check out for GRcade on Facebook and at GRcade on Twitter. I will be back Monday myself with a retro hour. I'll be playing a retro game. And then maybe some Red Dead Redemption. Dark Ruler said he would be playing GTA Online tomorrow. So tune in at 8 o'clock. And with that, I am going to head off. Is there any channels live? Right, I am going to raid 7 Fisher as they are currently streaming. Check out 7 Fisher. He is currently playing A Bug's Life. He is another fellow member from GRcade. What I tend to do on this channel is raid GRcade members first and foremost, simply because this is the GRcade community channel. So that's why I tend to raid GRcade people before others. Anyway, take care of yourselves, guys. And bye-bye.